We welcome you to join us now at the Queen's Court as we present Lani, the sunset stories here at the new International Marketplace. Welcome and aloha.
We begin this evening honoring our royal family with the presentation of Lani to King Kamehameha IV, Queen Emma, and their beloved son, known as the Pride of Hawaii. We honor this special family now. Fully. Deep in the heart of our beautiful island of Oahu lies its Pico, its center. We begin there this evening at Kukariloko, home of the sacred birthing stones of our chiefly lines. At this site laid the foundation for generations of our Alini to come.
Kuika vaikai, kuika lana kila hiu. Roku kaniloko komu alwa ke kupanoho kula kala koa. Kai hanau iona ali voi hui au hava ine. Roku kaniloko komu alwa ke kupanoho kula kala koa. Kai hanau iona ali voi hui au hava ine. Kuika vaikai, kuika lana kila hiu. Wale kule ahi hoki pano kamari hini. Apa amai kai ka puhi vai o ke hau anu kuwa kuika mai kuika lana kila hiu. Hale hale mai ana ke ala o mani no anu. Au away ka vai kuai ku vai ho he no an ali ku vai ku ka la ki ni mo ho ya ka ku he ba ana bua kan ki au kuni na la mai ya pu ni maka I la o ki ku ka vai ku ka la ki ni ahe pu vai ko me ka vi ho le I ma lu hi anu ka la hui pau ia mai na ai la na mai ha ba ani I ho no o malu ia me ki kau I ke mamala hoa kana vai hai na ia mai ana ka puana no ku ka ni loko ko a hui ka mai ka hui ka la ki le hei no ka wa ka ku ira
The lands upon which the marketplace sit are known as Kalua o Kau, and was the area in Waikiki where our royal family had one of their homes. Unfortunately, they were not able to enjoy this beachside location for very long as the young prince tragically passed away at the tender age of only 4. Less than a year later, we would also suffer the loss of his father, our king. It was truly a devastating time for our queen and her people, but together, standing in aloha, they carried through these tragic times.
Ma kau kau Oh here wale oe ka o manu leo na he o ka uka Oh here wale oe ka o manu leo na he o ka uka no ka ke ala ilia hi ka hiko I ka
The fragrance of the sandalwood perfumes the leaves of the trees. Return to your home where you can find love. May love be your constant companion. This is our praise, and may all hear the name Lani.
Long may the name of our queen live on. Thank you, ladies. Once again, to all of you joining us here this evening, aloha ahiahi, good evening and welcome for Lani Sunset Stories. Sit back, relax, and enjoy tonight's show. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the International Marketplace and our royal family, I welcome you all here this evening for Lani Sunset Stories. Tonight, you and I are going to be sharing in some rich Mo'olelo histories of our beloved Waikiki, sharing in the customs and traditions of our peoples of the Pacific, and also highlighting the gift of these lands, Kalua o Kau, for the benefit of our people of Hawaii. Most importantly, it's a time we take sharing in these stories with you that allow them to live on, and in doing so, we all share our aloha together for this. So, it's just an old Hawaiian custom when I say aloha to you. welcome. Ro'ona Lani. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Kavika and it's a pleasure to be your host here in the new Queen's Garden of our new international marketplace. We begin the exploration of the name of Waikiki and its meaning. Waikiki in Hawaiian means spurting waters, but it doesn't have anything to do with the ocean. Now you may ask yourself why this area known around the world is not associated in its name with what it's most well known for, its water sports and fun in the sun. Well, reason being is because far before this was a tourist destination, it was an area of vital importance in the raising of one of the most important crops here in our islands, known as kalo or taro. This area is a natural collection basin for 3 of our valleys that are mauka or inland of us towards the mountain. These valleys of Manoa, Halo, and Makiki all have streams that flow year-round, not something that we find much on this side of our island. Now, of those 3 streams, probably the one that has the most stream flow comes from one of the most beautiful of those valleys, the Valley of Manoa. Its name means broad, and when you see this valley, it is very different, for it is a very large, broad valley. Our ladies are now making their way to stage to share with you of the beauties of this valley, from its green, verdant areas to its lovely rain that falls every day in this lovely hula we call Nani o Manoa. Thank you, ladies. Here at the International Marketplace, both our visitors and locals alike have always come to find a great combination of experiences. That combination has included great dining, great shopping, and of course lots of fun to be had by all. In the early days, that fun was had at a club called Duke Kahanamoku's. Mr. Duke Paulo Kahanamoku introduced the world to the sport of our king surfing and that beautiful spirit of aloha. So we call out in his honor to all of you this evening Aloha! To which you respond, hey, that was great for this one little section right here. Let's try it all together now. Aloha! There you go. You know, the Duke was also a fabulous athlete in our water sports, along with all of our beach boys. You know, not only did they keep our visitors and locals safe, but also blanketed that beach of Waikiki with that beautiful spirit of aloha. And no one did it better than the Duke, for he truly was larger than life.
Grand Father Neptune awards the golden medal. Dukahanamoku, the crown you'll always wear. King of swimmers, famous of the sea. Mermaid beauties, keeping company. So, Dukahanamoku, the pride of all Hawaii, surfing on the Nalu, hearing like a manu. You would think a moment you wore a feather garment. Oriano and Haoli, Dukahanamoku, the idol of Hawaii, swimming in the ocean without the slightest notion that he'd become Kalana throughout the Kuponua. Oriano and Haoli, King Kamehameha, conquered the island group. Dukahanamoku, he simply conquered all the waters and became the king of swimmers. Oh, Dukahanamoku, the pride of all Hawaii, surfing on the Nalu, hearing like a manu. You would think a moment he wore a feather garment. Oriano and Haoli, King Kamehameha, conquered the island group. Dukahanamoku, he simply conquered all the waters and became the king of swimmers. Conquered all the waters and became the king of swimmers. Oh, Dukahanamoku, the pride of all Hawaii, surfing on the Nalu, hearing like a manu. You would think a moment he wore a feather garment. Oriano and Haoli, Oriano and Haoli.
Hey, the Duke, King of Honor, Hawaiian Waters, and his gentlemen, our beach boys. Here at the International Marketplace, we have always been able to have some of the best entertainment available for our visitors and locals to come and enjoy. From singing to all kinds of different international flair, nothing was not available here, but most importantly, what was always available here was that beautiful art form of Hawaii known as hula. And in hula, our hapahaole genre really became that time and wonderful dance of the world where you see it caught the eye of Hollywood. And when that happened, the rest became part of our hula history. Our lovely maidens in their cellophane skirts now take us back to the glitz and glamour of them 30 holidays and wonderful times in Hollywood. All the time in this tropical line where they do the hula hula dance, I fell in love with this tropical dove while doing that funny funny dance. This little kid, well, she never did been loved before, so I made up my mind I struck mine, the only girl that ever adored. Well, I love a pretty little hop-holly hula girl with her naughty little wiggle. Hula girl, she can surely make you giggle. Hula girl with her naughty little I'll be up someday. Gonna make this little hop-holly girlie mine, girlie mine. All the time I'm dreaming of her, a hop-holly hula girl. Oh, I wonder where my little hula girl has gone. She's no longer on the beach at Waikiki. I combed the beach and once her she rode upon, as I looked around as far as I could see. Oh, she flew to the east and flew to the west, but I'll get no rest till I find her back in a little fresh shack. Oh, I wonder where my little hula girl has gone. She's no longer on the beach at Waikiki. We should be together in a little hula heaven beside the silvery sea, so gay and free together in a little hula heaven under a cocoa tree. Days will be lazy and sweetly crazy, skies will grow hazy above, then we'll be When the International Marketplace first opened its doors in the 1950s, people heard of this new themed destination in Waikiki and were really excited to come and check it out. Well, you know, when they got to the center, they were a little confused, for the village-like setting that was here in the center really was not an accurate depiction of any of our peoples, cultures, or places of the Pacific. It was based off of something that was made up. Known as the Tiki Club culture, it was very popular in the United States in the 1950s and became known around the world. For you see, one of the first original anchor tenants of our marketplace, Trader Vic's, was also based and themed off of this Tiki Club culture. Now, Trader Vic's introduced the world to that exotic drink known as the Mai Tai, but also in its locations and restaurants around the world, really became one that started to promote this idea of what the Pacific was like through this Tiki Club culture. Now, this Tiki Club culture of which I'm speaking borrowed ideas, symbols, decorative items from many, many different cultures, a lot of them outside of the Pacific. Now, although the representation of our people in their homeland was not one that was very accurate here in the marketplace, those coming to the center were able to have authentic interactions with the cultures and the peoples of the Pacific in several ways. First, talented artisans and craftsmen were invited here to the center to engage in their traditional arts and crafts. This included woodworking, working and braiding in different types of materials, painting of items, different pottery things, just it ran the gamut. And when these artisans were here in residence, people could come and observe all of their artistic output, find out the significance of these items being produced, and then also buy examples to take home with them as gifts for loved ones, being able to have mementos of their travels, but always going home with the story connecting them to the marketplace. The other way by which they became known to the music and dance of Polynesia was through that luau show. You know, we are ready to go ahead and share with you one of the most favorite numbers of our Polynesian cultures that were always included in these luau. These shows would always have the Otea, or festival drum dance from the Isle of Tahiti. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy. Yolanda! That was an exciting and festive time in Waikiki's history of Polynesian pop culture, Don Ho, and the Hapahaole songs that were made famous in that time. But there is a richer and deeper history to be discovered here. We return to the gracious Queen who once made a home here at Kalua'okau. Queen Emma Kalaleona Lani Rook was born on January 2nd of 1836. She was born to High Chief George Naia and High Chiefess Fanny Kikalaokalani Young. Both of her parents descended from the Kamehameha House of Nobility. As it was a custom in her time, Emma was hanai or adopted by her mother's sister, High Chiefess Grace Young Rook, and her husband, Dr. Thomas Rook. Emma grew up assisting her father in his medical practice, a work that later would inspire both herself and her husband, the King, to give her their personal time, monies, and lands, to begin the Queen's Hospital, today known as the Queen's Healthcare Center of Hawaii. With its sole mission of providing in perpetuity healthcare for the people of Hawaii, lands such as these beneath the center are part of an estate that was gifted at the time of the passing of our Queen, meant to generate in perpetuity rental income that would be able to support this ongoing gift of medicine for their people of Hawaii. We honor this legacy and the gift of these lands every evening with the presentation of our Queen. And this evening representing our Queen is our very own lovely pod. Ladies and gentlemen, Her Majesty, Queen Emma Kalaleona Lani. These historic lands of Kalua'okau, across the street next to the Royal Hawaiian Hotel, are the remnants of the once extensive coconut grove known as Helemoa. These are but a few of many examples that exist here in Waikiki of what we call in Hawaiian wahipana, or storied places rich with history. There are so many of these wahipana and so much history associated with this small swath of our island of Oahu. For you see, for the last 500 years, Waikiki really has been a central point of operation and life here on the island of Oahu. I mentioned earlier that its name ties into what was represented here as one of its features of the land, and that was abundance of wai, or fresh water. For our planters of old, this wai was vitally important because it allowed for us to produce these areas of taro pond fields where we would have extensive groves of our kalo, or taro plant, under cultivation. And it's all throughout our center in its meandering waterways. You'll know this plant by its heart-shaped leaf. This plant, which is very much found all throughout our Polynesian cultures, is the staple of our diet, and this area of Waikiki was just loaded full with these plants, producing a tremendous amount of food for our people, as well as those that eventually would come to visit from afar. But we could be here all evening sharing in the histories of Waikiki and Hawaii at large, but we'd like to highlight the marketplace and the lands upon which it sits, known as Kalua'okau. When this marketplace first opened in the 1950s, it was kind of an oddity, but it was one that soon became well-loved and well-received by all who came through its doors. Those who would return to Hawaii on their annual vacations would always make it a point to have the marketplace on its list of destinations to visit before returning home. For us kama'aina, us locals that lived and or worked in Waikiki, we always knew that we could find a great bite to eat for lunch here at the food court, or be able to catch up with friends after a long day over a pub and a drink. And of course, have that place to celebrate all of our special occasions with our friends, family, and loved ones. After 50 plus years of playing host to our visitors and to our locals, the marketplace truly was in need of a rebuild, and so several years back, the old center was demolished to make way for what we have here today. Carried forward in the new design was that great combination of our center of old, great shopping, dining, and fun for all. But most importantly, highlighted here throughout the center is something that was not presented earlier in our first iteration, and that are the rich mo'olelo, or histories and stories, of our beloved Waikiki. We are honored to share these histories and stories with all of you every evening via this free hula show, and we continue to educate you in these histories of Waikiki with a number for our Queen, Kaulana no o Emma Lani.
Come on.
say mahalo. Thank you for joining us here this evening for Lani Sunset Stories. We share in these histories and traditions of Hawaii, Waikiki, the gift of our royal family, and also of our peoples of the Pacific every evening so that we can bring these histories to you and keep them alive. And we thank you for sharing your aloha for these histories and stories, and have a wonderful rest of your evening. Aloha. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a photo op for you now, and we're going to have 3 stations. We're going to have our 2 ladies on the outside and our gentleman in the middle. So I need for you to form 3 single file lines, 1 for each of our maidens and 1, of course, for our gentlemen, and come forward quickly for your photo, as we have a brief amount of time for pictures, but we'd like all of you to have that opportunity. So please come forward and take a picture with your dancer of choice, but allow all the opportunity for a photograph. Please make your way forward now into your 3 individual lines. Aloha, ahui ko.
Good job.